Okay, so you clicked on this video either for one, you want to know how to start a box truck company, or two, you were just really interested in the thumbnail, or three, you want to know how I went from having a business to losing it all. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you everything. So, step one. Why did I even decide to create a business or decide to even get into the box truck business? And the answer to that is basically one day I was at work and things wasn't really going too good at work. We had got a new boss, basically just making up rules as they go, stuff that's not by the handbook. And you know, just working with somebody, I'm pretty sure everybody know how that is when you got a new boss and they just make up stuff, try to, you know, basically just remove the system that was in place and how is it supposed to go. So I was just like, you know what, it's just too much. I gotta get out of here. And just in case anybody's wondering what kind of line of work I was in, I was basically a quote-unquote corrections officer slash monitor, whatever. Basically I was working with people who was locked up but they still on time, but they get to come home. They gotta stay at a halfway house. Everybody knows what a halfway house is, so I had to do that. And you know, it's just a lot going on from the environment itself, and then you got new bosses coming in saying like, yo, we about to do this, do that, change this, when it's supposed to be followed a certain way when it's not. But that's besides the point. So I left that job and I said, you know what, I think I am tired of working for people. Like, I want to create a company and be my own boss and basically just fight for that freedom that I'm always looking for. So here comes step two. Obviously, starting a business, you can't just go out here and be like, I want a loan, this, that, and third, unless, you know, you got like perfect credit. So my situation, I had to give up a few things. I had to sacrifice a couple things. And my biggest sacrifice was my 2017 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS that I have been dreaming of having since I was a kid, and I finally got it, and I used that to start my business. Anybody who followed this channel or know about me, they know that once I got that car, it was basically content all around that car. I was filming content with that car. I met my now fiance in that car. So like, it was a lot for me to sacrifice. So what did I do? I started looking for buyers. I posted the car on Facebook Marketplace for like $35,000, $38,000. I wasn't really able to get nobody to buy it off Marketplace. I went to the next fastest way to sell a car, and that is, my friends, is Carvana. I won't lie, if you are looking to sell your car and you do have the title, mind you, I bought Camaro cash, everything was paid for, I had the title on hand. So if you are looking to get rid of your car fast, I do recommend Carvana. Carvana did give me, what, $21,000 for the vehicle, and I felt like that was enough to start my business. So I sold my car to Carvana, and here we go with the next step of starting my business. What's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I look like a fucking ghost out here. At least you can see me, that's all that matters. You can hear me. So this is a different video today. A different video. I know y'all see by the title, I usually don't post stuff like this at all. So as y'all can see by the title, starting a box truck company at 22, right? Now, I did tons of research. You're probably wondering like, damn, what is that sacrifice in my life? And I'm gonna tell you exactly what that sacrifice in my life is right here. Boom. Motherfucking Bumblebee. So everybody, step three. Now that I sold my car for $21,000, I have the cash on hand. So now it's about getting this company off the ground. So first thing I did is I applied for an LLC in the state I was living at the time, Virginia. I applied for an LLC. It was like $100. I had got financial people. So basically, like, any money I was making from the company, it would be a certain percentage would be taken out of that money, so I can have it for the end of the year for my taxes. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found me a Sterling box truck. It was like a 2007, 2008 Sterling box truck for $8,000. So I flew to Delaware, or not I flew. I took the train to Delaware and I got the box truck. Bought the box truck cash, drove it home that night. Everything seemed fine with the box truck. Yeah, the box truck did have a few things like wrong with it. Like, for example, it was a couple holes in the box, basically at the bottom, but it was nothing that you couldn't fill up by yourself. So I am all about like creating or getting things that's like kind of tore up a little bit and fixing it up. So it didn't have a lot of E-tracks on the box truck. So what I did, me and my fiance, we went to Harbor Freight. We got some of these things out the way. We got the E-tracks. We installed all the E-tracks on the box truck so we'd be able to secure the load. But now it was something missing, and I was like, okay, hold on. I need to get a pallet jack. Now, granted, I got a pallet jack from Amazon for like $600. They delivered it to my crib, but they couldn't put it in the box truck. So me and my little brother, we had to like lift that heavy ass thing up and put it in the box truck, and I assembled it in the box truck. I also got some straps to secure the loads that I was going to be taking. So in my mind, everything was going good. I had the straps, I had the pallet jack, I had the truck, I had my logo coming. You know, I had my LLC. Everything was good until step 4. Now, this is probably one of my biggest regrets of even starting this box truck company and even starting or even selling my dream car that I dreamed of having since I was like 10 years old, is that I don't know why it didn't cross my mind that my insurance rates was going to be crazy out the roof. Not because I had accidents, not because I got tons of speeding tickets. No, none of that. Just for the simple fact that I was 21. No, I was 22. My fault. I was 22 years old, you know, trying to get commercial insurance. And when I tell you, I was calling around, some people were saying like $5,000, $6,000, like, and that's just for the down payment. And it was just like, yo, I think I am almost truly cooked. It was like so much searching to get insurance, and then I think like 2 weeks before I was really kind of like set to start this company and take my first load, I got kind of lucky with Progressive. I could say I got lucky with Progressive. They wanted like $3,000 down or $4,000 down, so I gave them that. And then basically my payment a month was $2,374, I believe. And I won't lie, like, that was due January. My first initial trip was December. Like, my first ever taking a load was in December. So in my head I was like, all right, it's just, I'm gonna have to hustle, I'm gonna have to get to work, because I got $2,000 to pay every month just for insurance. That's not including the fuel costs. Now, the box truck has 2 tanks. It takes diesel. Diesel prices are, just gas prices alone are out of this world. So basically, to fill up my box truck, both tanks, we're talking $400. $400 just for 2 tanks to be filled up, straight diesel. Y'all probably like, oh man, you know, you had 20,000, like you was able to get a box truck for 8,000. You should have this amount left, right? No. So basically, like I said, we had to get some things for the box truck to fix it up. We got the E-tracks that ran me about like at least like $500. I had to get the nails for it. I had to get the E-tracks. It was 26 foot long E-tracks, so I had to buy at least like, I want to say 15 of them. So I bought like 15 of them. Had to give me a drill, and like I said, I bought straps. I bought the $500 pallet jack, but also too, guys, when I tell you, me and my fiance one day was at McDonald's and had parked the box truck up. We went inside to eat, and then we came back out, and the box truck would not start because the battery was basically a done for battery. It's the only thing about buying stuff from Facebook Marketplace. They sell you stuff, and like sometimes like it really be a hit or miss. So the battery was done. So me and my fiance got stuck in Norfolk, Virginia, and we had to go to Harbor Freight, and I had to drop at least another like 300, 600 on a Barity that was powerful enough to charge that Barity to start that box truck so we can get home. So, step 5. I just put up 10 fingers and I said step 5. Step 5, right? So, step 5. Basically, this is why I say, if you want to start a box truck company, don't go out and get a box truck right away. Get your LLC, and this next thing I'm about to tell you, do it right now. Hold your numbers for at least 6 months to a year. Listen, your MC number and your DOT numbers, that is going to make or break your business. I'm telling you this right now. This is going to make or break your business, okay? So, what nobody did tell me, and I was doing my research online, but basically, when you have a new authority, when you have new DOT numbers and new MC number, no broker, no carrier wants to work with you, yo. Nobody. And then the only people that is going to work with you is Total Quality Logistics. When I say they are at the bottom of the bottom when it comes to getting orders or, just dealing with brokers, they are at the bottom of the bottom. They won't nudge. If you be like, yo, I do it for this price, they won't nudge. They be like, yo, my customer, he not effing with it. You just gonna, at this point, like, because nobody else wants to work with you, so you have to work with them. Nobody wants to work with new authorities, and I really did not know that. So nobody wants to work with new authorities, but Total Quality Logistics, they'll rock with you. And I think it's another company that'll rock with you, but I don't know the name. So anybody who is watching this video and you are like in the trucking industry or the box truck industry, and you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments down below. I just forgot the name. Maybe I'll do the research and put it right here or something. But yeah, basically, like, nobody wants to work with you. Total Quality Logistics is the bottom of the bottom, and I'm gonna say why they are the bottom of the bottom. So my first load was ironically from Virginia to what was that? That was what's that? That's not Willow Grove, PA. But basically, it was from VA to PA, right? I'm talking about $500. Just that's not including the deadhead. And that's another thing. Total Quality Logistics will not, like, throw a little extra in there just for your deadhead, just so you can pick up the load. So my deadhead was like an hour away. Yo, I totally forgot where I picked up from. It wasn't my fault. It's not even from VA. It was from somewhere, but $500, right? That's not including your deadhead. That's not including your fuel costs. That's just for you to drop off the ship. You got to make sure your deadhead is cool, and you got to make sure that you got enough fuel to get there. So I picked up my first load, and I dropped it off in PA. Now, when it comes to starting a business, it always comes with perfect timing, right? Or some people would say, no, you just got to go out there and just start. That's not always the case. My situation was a little different. I was new authority. Nobody wanted to work with me. Total Quality Logistics, they didn't really have nothing where I was dropping off at. And that's another thing I'm going to throw in there. Wherever you dropping off at, make sure you can get something that's coming out of there and you can just leave right back out. Because you know what happened to me? I wound up sitting for a good minute. Not even because it wasn't nothing coming back out. It's because it was nothing going out to, like, make my way of where I wanted to go to make the money. And a lot of the money was over on the West Coast with a box truck, because I was seeing loads of Vegas. They're just, getting rid of old money machines, and basically they just wanted you to go around the block and they was gonna pay you $250. So in my head I was like, yo, if I can get over to the West Coast, I could basically be knocking these joints out and keep making my money. But I basically did wind up getting a load from PA to PA. It paid like $200. I just picked up like two 4 pallets of animal food, dropped it out to a farm, and then came back home. Now, this is where I say timing is everything, right? So within that week, it was a week before Christmas, so things started to slow down. Like I thought, like, all right, it's Christmas time, things gonna be moving. No, 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 no. Things were not moving. Things were really, really, really slow, especially because I was new authority. So my side of work was really, really, really slow. And at that, I had a box truck, only a box truck. A lot of loads, they wanted a refrigerated box truck, stuff like that to carry food, which I should have got a reefer. All right, so basically, like I was saying, everything comes with perfect timing. So when I started this company, it was basically a week before. Actually, no, it was in November. Thanksgiving hit. I had to wait for my DOT numbers and MC number to come. That didn't come until like the end of November. Slapped them things on, and he didn't go active until December, like 2 weeks before Christmas. So my first load wasn't the week before Christmas. So I wound up actually sitting for like 2 weeks. I wound up sitting for 2 weeks because everything was slow. I didn't have a reefer. Like I said, I was new authority. Nobody wanted to work with me. So basically, I had wound up sitting, just looking to see like, all right, what can I get? What can I get? Mind you, I still got an insurance bill coming up that's like $2,000. So I'm trying to like work, and I didn't wind up getting a load until like a couple days after Christmas. I had went from PA to Connecticut, right? They hit mad crazy, but thank the Lord, I had a fuel credit, only like $300, but it was enough for me to get up there. My deadhead was still crazy, so basically, I wound up going up there, and I almost get there like an hour away. They're talking about the customer has canceled. I said, what? Bro, are you kidding me? I needed that because that joint was like $1,000. So all I had to do was make another $1,000 when I got down to Florida. Bro, they talking about they canceled it on me, right? I'm like, bro, what the fuck? So I'm asking Total Quality Logistics. I'm like, yo, do I get some type of pay because I came all the way up here? They're like, no, because you were supposed to be there at 8 o'clock on the dot. Mind you, I was like only a couple minutes away. I was like, yo, I'm only a couple minutes away. He was like, nah, it's the holidays. Like, it's about to be New Year's. He want to send his employees home, so we're just going to cancel the load. I'm like, yo, that is crazy to me. So, mind you, I went all the way to Connecticut for nothing. So, I just pulled into the gas station. I start looking for my next load. Thank God I was a load right in New York, going right down to Orlando, Florida, and then going to Miami, Florida. Like I said, Total Quality Logistics don't want to really rock with you. They'll start at the bottom. It was like, what was it? The load was like 800. I talked them up to 1,000. So I wound up picking up a load from New York. Anybody who's a trucker or even a box truck driver, you know, bro, like driving in New York when you got like a big ass vehicle, it's just not the wave. Like, bro, I'm talking about even backing in, it was like, yo, cars trying to keep riding past me. Like, bro, chill out. Let me back into this dock and leave me alone. But that's besides the point. So I did wind up getting a load from Orlando to Miami. Took that thing, and mind you, that probably was like a load I was really excited for because like, all right, this is it. But after fuel costs and all that, I only walked away with like $500. I only walked away with $500, and I was just like, yo, I don't think this is gonna work. Like, I couldn't even do Amazon because that was my initial plan with the box truck, to do Amazon, and Amazon wants you to have the authority for they want you to have your authority for 6 months. And I'm like, bro, what? I got an insurance bill due next month, not 6 months from now. Like, I had a little one. I had, my son that y'all know, but I had him on the way, and I'm like, bro, like, what the hell, like. And in the back of my mind, always thinking like, yo, was me starting a business like the worst idea ever? Should I have just maybe did sell my car and then probably just build something off of that, something that's not as like crucial as this, like that it's going to require you to have more than $20,000. So anybody who's starting a box truck company is going to require you to have more than $20,000, and it's going to require you to have a good credit so you can be able to take out loans just in case anything happens. Luckily nothing happened where the box truck broke down or anything, But so we got to we dropped off everything in Florida, and it was the weekend. We dropped off everything Friday. Everything starts slowing down Saturday. They post loads for Sunday to pick up Monday. So me and my fiance just wound up sitting in Love's truck stop, just looking for loads, trying to get work, and nothing was coming out of Florida at the time. Nothing was coming out of Florida. So in my head, I really had to make a good and a hard decision to be like, yo, do I just stop this shit now? And that's basically what I did. I hopped out the truck. I took pictures of the box truck, and I said, yo, somebody come buy this joint. I posted it up for $8,000. I said, somebody come get this joint, because it wasn't my time. Sometimes you gotta accept that it wasn't your time. I really do think in my head sometimes I'd be like, I should have never started that business. But then, like I said, it was a learning experience. So, and then another thing, that's why things like this should be taught in school, and you really gotta know people to actually know who you talking to and really get valid research, because you can't do everything online, because online they'll say, yo, I'm feeling sick, I got this crazy cough, what's wrong with me? And they'll be like, yo, you have cancer. And it's like, damn, bro, I just got a common cold. So basically is, with a new business, you can't get anything. You can't get anything, bro. As far as property wise, I was trying to get a new apartment because I needed more space for me, my fiance, and my little one. I needed more space. And basically, he was like, yo, we need 2 years of tax return. And I was like, oh my God. They need 2 years of tax returns. And I've only been in business for 2 months. So I didn't have 2 years of tax returns. So I was like, bro, this shit is just it's not working out for me. It's not working out for me. So I went back home to Virginia. I used my final money on my credit limit for my fuel card, and I got us home. And basically it was just time to be like, what's next? What's next? And basically what's next is, being in them truck stops wasn't that bad as you thought it was, right? Because I got to really see what's the real money when it comes to being on the road doing OTR or just being local. What's the real money? And the real money is that CDL truck driving, okay? Them big 18-wheelers, that's where the money at. And especially being just looking on the load boards, and just imagine I had a longer authority and I had an 18-wheeler, I would have been making some good money. But it is hard with a box truck, because box trucks is not really respected in the trucking industry. I'll say that. I remember talking to a broker one time, and I was just like, could you do a little bit more with this? And he laughed in my face and said, yo, this is a box truck. And he hung up on me. And just throw this out there, if you are new coming into this game, don't take everything to heart. I don't take nothing to heart when I talk to these brokers, because they just sitting behind the desk, you feel me? They're not out here trying to really make it for themselves and make their business a big thing. They're just sitting behind the desk getting paid hourly and being laughing in your face. So don't take nothing to heart. It's just business at the end of the day. But so I sold the box truck. I got rid of everything. And basically I said, what's next? I'm gonna do this again. I got my authority and all that stuff, but I'm gonna do this again, but I'm gonna do this the right way. So what's next for me, what's next for this story, is I got my CDL permit. And actually after this video, I will be applying to Prime Inc. and I will be learning how to drive them big 18-wheelers. I'm gonna get my experience up. I'm gonna let myself get a little bit older, like at least 25, 26, and I will start this business up. Right now, I just turned 23 last month. So I got time. God's willing, I have time. So I'm going to start this business back up. I'm gonna, really learn the game from one of the big companies that got hundred thousands of trucks, because that's how I want to be one day. So I'm gonna learn the game. I'm going to get inside the trucks, learn the system, and learn how to operate with employees and being what's the word, a boss, basically. So that's what's next. So make sure y'all subscribe to this channel, because I will be documenting basically my whole trucking journey from start to finish, and I hope to bring you guys along with me. But that's basically how I started the business, and I lost everything within me starting that business. But it's okay. Most millionaires lose shit before they really gain shit, you feel me? But yeah, just excited, man. I'm going to give you guys updates. If you don't already follow me on social media, don't follow me on Instagram, because I'm really not going to be active on Instagram right now, because Instagram is really boring to me. But make sure y'all follow me on my TikTok. Make sure you follow this page right here. That's where I'm gonna really be doing my trucking content. And yeah, that's what's next for the journey. Hope you guys stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video.